Good morning, Honeyrock, and welcome to Nectar News Fletchcast with your co-hosts, Rusty Socrates and Guy Plato.
Good morning, Honeyrock. I'm Guy Plato, and this is my co-host, Rusty Socrates.
Welcome to Nectar News Fletchcast.
Rusty, did you get a chance to check out that American Idol finale last night? Holy Jim, it was a classic.
No, I missed it. I was busy hunting bears with my new crossbow. Oh man, the bow is so sick. I can't wait to show you.
Dude, that's awesome. When are we going to see it?
I don't know.
All right.
Sorry.
Dude, you really missed out last night. So you don't even know who won the contest?
I have no clue who won this thing.
Well, it was David Fletcher. Man, he's got some pipes.
You got some big biceps?
No, you moron. He can sing.
Oh, sorry, man.
Well, here's a clip from his interview last night at when he clinched the American Idol title.
First of all, I want to thank God for the opportunity to compete in such a prestigious competition. My success on the show is largely influenced by my hero, Socrates, because he's just awesome. I want to leave my fans with this. Music is risky business plagued with underdetermination, presuppositions, and self-deception. In other words, sing your heart out.
Baby, I love you! What a guy.
Seriously. On a more serious note, there's been breaking news from UC Berkeley. Rusty, can you tell us a little bit more about the situation that's going down in California?
Yeah. Okay, the law professor of UC Berkeley has just resigned after having been accused by a student of sexual harassment.
Can you define sexual harassment for our viewers?
Yes, it is in any situation where there's unwanted sexual advancements or obscene remarks.
And according to the reports, the professor, Joe Smith, believed that it was a consensual act between him and the student, but the student believes that that was not the case. But both say sexual intercourse did take place.
Yeah, what's interesting is that the law student wasn't in any of the professor's classes and she wasn't a minor. As a result of these allegations toward the dean, he has resigned from UC Berkeley.
Apparently, universities' policies vary from college to college when dealing with this sort of issue. Some universities forbid all relationships between faculty and undergraduate students, but allow faculty and graduate students to have relationships as long as the student is not in the faculty member's class. While other schools do not tolerate any relations between students and faculty, there are some schools that have no policies whatsoever on this matter.
Let's check in with our reporter on the scene, Scott Michael.
I'm Scott Michael, and I'm here on the scenes at 3 LSU, and I'm about to interview Dr. Edwards to see what he thinks about what our policy should be here in light of the Berkeley case. Dr. Edwards?
Yes. Well, this is an interesting case, of course. Part of the difficulty is what is the age of the young lady in question. However, really irrespective of her age, part of the challenge is what are the proper relationships between student and faculty, and what kinds of protections really for both students and faculty one wants to put into place to avoid situations such as this. And my opinion is essentially that if these kinds of circumstances were to arise and they have happened before, where there's a faculty member and there's a student, there seems to be the specter of something romantic flaring up, shall we say. Well, if there is some intent to go forward with this relationship, there needs to be something that, in a sense, puts that relationship outside the relationship of the classroom and really outside of the university itself, which could mean you need to delay what you're doing with this relationship. Otherwise, you wind up in a case like this where it can wind up being a he said, she said kind of circumstance where even if the relationship is consensual, she would argue it's not consensual at all because there's such a power differential between the professor, who of course has the power to affect the student's destiny, and the student who wants to have some kind of future, and this is why they're at that school. But perhaps feels like there's no real choice involved here. If I say no, will I fail?
Right. So would you make a distinction between students that are directly in a professor's class or under their supervision and students that aren't?
Certainly classes where the student is directly under the supervision of the professor. This is a very, very dicey kind of circumstance, and it is probably wise to have a policy that says that this kind of fraternization is not healthy for either party involved, and it really impedes the educational process, much less other concerns that could potentially arise, such as in this case. Outside of the classroom, even then, I think this has to be a situation where I think some care needs to be taken. Perhaps there's some policy in place that should such romantic relationships flare up, that faculty members report the emergence of these things to somebody that fairly adjudicates these things. I mean, this is for the protection of both the professor and the student involved.
All right. Thank you for your time, Dr. Edwards.
Well, you know, it's always a privilege to help the wonderful institution that is 3LSU.
And we'll now cut to a commercial break where Midnight Melvin the Mouse is requiring funds. So anyone that wants to donate, here's your chance.
Midnight Melvin the Mouse. Midnight Melvin the Mouse. Midnight Melvin the Midnight Melvin the Midnight Melvin the Mouse. Midnight Melvin the Mouse. Midnight Melvin the Mouse. Midnight Melvin the Mouse. We've given him a new house.
Hi, I'm Scott Michael from Nectar News Fletchcast, and I'm here with Ben, the YouTube sensation. And as a Three Lakes student, how do you feel about the relationships between student and faculty?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. My personal philosophy, I mean, feels good, do it. So I don't see a problem with it.
So there's no like awkward creepiness that would occur between different students and faculties having romantic relationships?
No, I mean, I feel like there shouldn't be. Maybe there is, but yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I wouldn't think that's weird.
Okay, then there you have it.
So Austin, what do you think about all this? Well, thanks for your input. I'm here with Eve Rachels to see what she thinks about what Three Lakes State University policy should be with student-professor relationships.
As far as romantic relationships go, I think there should be a no-tolerance policy. I don't think that it's right for students and teachers to have romantic relationships outside or inside the classroom.
And what are your reasons for that?
Well, first off, I think it's just kind of creepy. If a professor or like older worker at the college were to approach me, I would feel really uncomfortable. And I just think that those relationships aren't acceptable and they're not conducive to a good learning environment, and I just think it's not the right time or place.
All right, thanks for your opinion, Eve.